Welcome everybody to another tutorial. Today we're going to go through another poster. This time it's going to be a Spider-Man one, so let's get into it. Alright everybody, like I said before, we're going to do the Spider-Man poster. Giving it kind of like a war movie vibe. It's real grungy and kind of chaotic looking. There's debris flying everywhere, little flames. Just giving it kind of a little style. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to bring up the original image. Again, you can use whatever image you want. I will try to find a place where I can link to this exact image that I'm using, but use whatever you want. Just make sure it's kind of, a little, there's something going on. So I'm going to open my document size, 5 by 7.5, 300 resolution. And then we're going to bring the picture on over. Computer's slow, sorry. And then we're going to size it to fit the poster size. I'm going to make my adjustments. I'm going to copy that layer. So what I did is let's pause this real quick. What I did was I duplicated the layer, but I did it by selecting only the portion that I want in the poster. So you get the marquee tool, cover the entire image, hit Command or Control J. It'll cut out just that little portion. Otherwise, it's going to be the whole image that's going to keep moving around. Hope that makes sense. All right, let's get back into it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to adjust some of the colors. We're going to go up to Filter, Camera Raw Filter. And I'm going to go through this real quick. I'm going to speed up the video, but it's just adjusting the color in the picture, how you want it to look. You can do super contrasted and crazy, or subtly. I don't change mine that much. It just kind of gives a little bit of color to it. So next we're going to add some adjustment layers. The adjustment layers I'm using are vibrance, exposure, curves, and levels. Those are generally what I use. Again, you can whatever you're comfortable with. If you're new to this, probably shouldn't be watching this tutorial, but adjust them how you want. I like the darker areas to be a little brighter, so that's what I'm doing with the exposure layer or adjustment layer. And each one is different. Again, how you layer them, how you kind of put them on top of each other, it's going to make the image look different. It's going to give it a different kind of style, however you want to think about it. But yeah, I really hope you're understanding that I'm not trying to give you exact play-by-play, because it's kind of hard to do exactly, especially in these terms, because every image is different, especially if you're not using the exact one I'm using. So adjust, and then you don't want, if you're not working in a higher resolution image, then you don't want to use a higher resolution document, because then everything's gonna be pixelated. Anyway, that's my little rant, or whatever you want to call it, about resolution in pixels. So now next I'm going to add a border. So I created a new layer, and I switched my colors back to black and white by hitting D on the keyboard, and then inverting it by hitting X. Now I'm going to hit M to get the marquee tool, make sure it's a rectangle, and I'm going to select the entire image, and then make sure I'm on that new layer, and go up to Edit, and then go down to Stroke. I'm going to make sure our stroke width is at 20 pixels, the color is white, and the location is inside, and hit OK. And there we go, we got our little border. Now to deselect it, you can go up to Select and go down to Deselect, or you can hit Command or Control D. And like that, like magic, it is gone, the selection. Now we have our little border. So next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add that blur, that radial blur that's on there. As you can see, the arms, the extended arms are kind of blurred out and kind of splaying almost. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down to the original image. We're going to duplicate it by hitting Command or Control J, or you can right click and go up to duplicate layer. That's going to go through the whole thing of, you naming it and whatnot. It's just easy to hit Command or Control J. So now from there, we're going to make sure that new layer or the new copy is selected. We're going to go up to Filter, Blur, and then Radial Blur. I'm going to adjust the settings on this. We're going to go to Zoom, and not Spin, because then it's going to go all swirly on us. So go to Zoom, and going too much, I'll show you in a bit, is gonna kind of go crazy. Move this little circle area around to kind of center it on Spider-Man. Hit OK. That actually looks really good. So we're gonna leave the settings that we were. I think it was 14. You might have to go back and look at that. So from here, again, there's layer masks. There's other ways you can erase off of this layer, but I'm just going to use an eraser tool. Make sure it's a pretty big brush. Hardness is all the way down, so it's a soft brush. And then we're just going to erase the parts that we want to be have more clarity, which is mainly Spider-Man. So that way, it looks like the camera was focused solely on him, and everything else just kind of went chaotic around him. I apologize if I'm going way too fast. Now what we're going to add is we're going to add our texture, the grunge, dirty kind of look, and I have this one already kind of in my stockpile. So you can see those little scratches, scrapes. That are just going to add to the look of the poster. Again, you don't have to add them. It's just something that I do often, too often. I'm going to add it in there and adjust how you will. You'll see how I adjust it. I rotate it, make it more landscape or portrait. Sorry. I have people freaking out on me because I got those mixed up. I'm going to adjust it to fit the poster exactly. And then from there, I'm going to hit Command M to bring up a curves, the curves dialog box. Or you can go up to apparently I was just making more adjustments. You can go up to Image Adjustments and go to Curves. Or like I said, hit Command M. It's easier. So I'm going to hit Command M. I'm going to bring the dark parts way down to make sure it's not just the white, but like a little to where it looks like how it does. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry, go down to your blend mode, hit screen, then you're going to invert the image. You can go up to Image Adjustments and go down to Invert. But again, shortcut, Command or Control I is going to invert the image. It's going to invert the colors, I should say. And then I'm going to adjust it again to where the middle is almost completely clear of all the extra little grunginess. And I'm going to adjust the whole thing to, not the whole thing, but the texture layer to kind of be on the borders more. You can leave it like that if you want. To me, it's just too much, so I bring in the opacity to make it more subtle. Subtlety is good sometimes, a lot of times. And now we're just gonna add the effects. Add the effects, the debris flying up, kind of going. We're gonna add that same radial blur like we did earlier, but this time to the debris layer. So I'm gonna bring your debris out. Again, I'll try to link it. The one I use, we're going to use a multiply blend mode, not screen. Adjust it to where you want it. I kind of put it off to the side so it wasn't shooting out at him, but rather kind of like it was shooting next to him when he was falling. Just adjusting it to kind of bring up some of those little parts, some little bits more. We're going to go to radial blur once again. Again, that's filter, down to blur, radial blur. Unfortunately, there's no shortcut for that one. This is the one that I kind of went a little crazy on by making the amount too much. And it's too much, so it's kind of shooting out a little bit too much, a little too much velocity for the rest of the picture. It's a little more subtle, so we're going to make those adjustments. Again, if that's what you're going for, go for it. Make it as crazy, add all kinds of lens flares and insanity all you want, and it'll look different, that's for sure. And I realized I had this on the wrong area. It's not blending too well because it was not underneath all those adjustment layers we did earlier. So, and then I'm gonna bring down the blur amount once again because it was still too much for me. I'm gonna show you what zoom does though. I just kind of, or spin. It spins it. So radial blur, go back to zoom and bring down the amount to I think about 8 or 7. That'll work. Bring that down to a proper spot. And there you go, blends perfectly, sort of. Now it blends really well. Now we're just gonna add in a little fire, the bottom, some sparks and debris, a little bit more debris, not a whole lot. On each of these, you want to use a screen mode, blend mode. Wow, screen blend mode. So they blend through the screen. Again, just making all the little minor adjustments. Well, I guess not minor adjustments, but things that help it kind of look pretty cool. Again, you can go crazy with it. You can have the fire shooting up right in his face. You can have lens flares, more sparks, more debris, a lot of I don't know, it just depends on make it your own because it's yours. I mean, it's going to be your poster. It's how you want it to be, how you want it to look and feel. It's totally up to you. I went a little more subtle with it, but adding just enough detail to kind of give it that war movie vibe almost. So there you go. I mean, that's the final image of what I made. I would love to see what you guys make. If you follow me on Instagram at JordanJamesB, let me see. Tag me in the picture, or use the hashtag JBDesigns tutorial, and then I'll check it out. Make it your own. Make this whole thing your own. I really want to see some cool kind of different looks to it. Or if you do exactly what I do, that's cool too. Make your own text. You can use one from the movie already. I don't know, but I would really like to see some different styles. Use your creativity and imagination. That's what I try to do when it's not being blocked by, I don't know, things. So real briefly, we're gonna get real here, folks. I just want to take this opportunity to say the reason why I try not to tell you to do exactly what I'm doing. Put in these numbers, this number, that number for the adjustments is because I want you to make things based on how you feel, how they look good. It's great to go on a basis. You're ready to go with this as your kind of foundation almost of how I've created something. But from there, make it your own. You can add something. You can take something away if you want. It's totally up to you. I don't want you to feel bound or caged to how I'm doing things. So, I mean, really, Photoshop is a great tool. It's an amazing piece of software and used to create some incredible images. So, I mean, obviously, I would love for you to take this and kind of further it. That's my little kind of in between talk, little inspiration to get you guys to kind of keep moving in this, in the direction that you want to go with this. I mean, you can do what I'm doing. Obviously, I wouldn't want you to do that because I'm already doing it. And how are you going to do that better than me? I mean, come on. No, but seriously, I do really want you to kind of expand your creativity and your imagination to do great things. All right, back to, I think I'm just about to end the video actually, so why not end it? You can follow me on Instagram at JordanJamesB, on Twitter at JordanJBDesigns. Go ahead and give this video a like, a comment, hit the little bell icon, and of course subscribe. Tell others to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 before August, or by August 23rd. I'm going to give away a poster. Any poster you want in my entire catalog, full size, printed, shipped to you. It'll be great. So, that's the end of this video. Got a couple more tutorials coming up, a couple more speed art, and just, I got an idea a few things about telling you how I started this and where I'm going and where I'm taking everything. So be sure and stick around for that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Again, I'm sorry I'm going a little bit fast. That's just how it's been for me lately. Once I have a more steady computer setup, something that's going to run everything smoothly, and I won't have to be waiting for 10 minutes for something just to load, then I'll add in the shortcuts, and I'll do more detailed videos, I promise you. But for now, if you're having trouble following, I'd recommend looking up a beginner's tutorial or something. Again, I'm trailing off. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Keep on making amazing things. Peace.